All right, guys, let's take a look at the rest of your day 17 work. We're going to start with this page, your nonfiction page. This one's all about kangaroos, super cute animals that live in Australia. They come from Australia. They could, they live at zoos here also. Number one is on the far right of your paper. Kangaroos are plentiful in Australia. There are between 50 and 60 million of them. So that's a ton of kangaroos. Just to see what that number looks like written out. Here is the number 50 million. That's a lot of kangaroos. All right. So what do you think the word plentiful means? All right. Do you think it means many, some, jumping, or increasing? And then divide the word plentiful into a base word and a suffix. All right. I will go ahead and tell you that the suffix has 3 letters, and a prefix is found at the beginning, a suffix is found at the end. So look at the end of the word plentiful and write the base word and the suffix. You are going to have to change that I to another letter, so pay attention to that. Number 2, you're going to read the passage really short and summarize it. Typically when we summarize, we have a few more lines than what we have right there, but go ahead and just try to summarize it in about 2 sentences. It is a short passage, so there shouldn't be a whole lot to talk about, so you should be okay. What kind of figurative language is being used in this sentence? Kangaroos are the boxers of the animal kingdom. We haven't been able to talk a whole lot about figurative language, but I will go ahead and tell you a few different types. Hang on one second. I'm going to look at my notes real quick. So the hyperbole is an exaggerated statement or claim that cannot be taken literally. So you say there are millions of butterflies outside my front window. Are there really millions of butterflies? Probably not. All right, so that's an example of a hyperbole. Simile compares two things. So we did talk about this one earlier this year. A comparison. So think about are they comparing kangaroos to something? A good example of that would be you're as brave as a lion. All right, so you're comparing yourself to a lion. Lions are really brave animals. So that would be a simile. A metaphor also does some comparing, but it's a figure of speech in which a word or phrase is applied to an object or an action in which it is not literally acceptable or applicable. So you kind of are turning you're comparing something and you're applying an action to the object. So are they giving the kangaroo another action that they are? And then an idiom, just like we did before in your post yesterday, an idiom, also a type of figurative language, and this is a group of words established by usage as having a meaning not deductible from those. So raining cats and dogs, see the light, all right? Things that don't really happen, but you can compare them and you can kind of exaggerate on them also. So think about what you think. Kangaroos are the boxers of the animal kingdom. So we know we're talking about kangaroos. We know they live in the animal kingdom. What are they saying that the kangaroo is like? And then decide if that's a hyperbole, a simile, a metaphor, or an idiom. All right, number 4, circle the word that does not belong. All right, hint, there are 3 possible answers. Oh, wow. All right, so you have kangaroo, pocket, powerful, and Australia. So you can pretty much order those in any order you want, and you can pick one that doesn't fit and then just tell me why it doesn't fit. All right, so if you want to pick kangaroo, powerful, in Australia, then why does pocket not fit in there? Or if you want to pick pocket, kangaroo in Australia, why does powerful not fit in there? So think about that. Answer the question again, but choose a different answer. So this time, just choose a different word. So like we just said, there are a lot of combinations. You can pick out any of those words that you want, really. You just have to be able to tell me why you think it doesn't go with it, and that is totally your opinion. All right, draw lines to match each sentence to its structure. All right, so is it a simple sentence, one short sentence with a period at the end, not a whole lot going on? Is it a compound sentence? Remember we had the words like and, but, so. Is it two sentences that are being put together? If you take one of those words out, usually in the middle, can you have two complete separate sentences? If you can, then that's a compound sentence. And then a complex sentence does not use a compound word, but it is a longer, more detailed sentence. Usually it has adjectives and details and things like that added to it. And then number 6, it says circle the helping verbs and underline the action verb. We actually did this last week. So the subject, kangaroos obviously. What are the subject? What is the kangaroo doing? That's your verb. And then your helping verb is the word that comes right before it. All right, so those kangaroos are jumping fast. We know we're talking about kangaroos. The action verb is jumping. That's their action. Are is the helping verb because it's telling you that the kangaroos are jumping. All right, so you're going to circle the helping verb and underline the action verb. If you have any questions with this page, please feel free to let me know. It's a little bit more complex than what we've been doing, but I definitely think that you guys can figure it out. Super exciting. We're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to look at some bar graphs. Miss Tierney loves graphing. I'm so sad we're missing it right now. It's my favorite to teach. Bar graphs can be used to display and compare information. The bar graph below shows the results of a science experiment to find the best plant food. So we kind of talked about this earlier this year. Every bar graph has a title. Your title's right at the top. Plant food comparisons. All right. And then you have an x-axis and a y-axis. You have plant food. All right, so these are the different types of plant food. A, B, C, D, and E is how they're labeled. And then the plant growth. So based off of the food that they get, how tall do they grow? And this chart goes from 0 to 90. Skip counting by tens. So, for example, you go from 0 to 10. That means that little mark in between has a value, and it has a value of 5. All right, so if you want to mark or feel like you need to mark some of those in-between lines, you can. But you have 0, 5, 10, so on and so forth. All right, so how much did the plant that received food B grow? So how you're going to answer this, you're going to go down here, plant food, food B. You're going to read up the chart and see where the line stops. All right, so it goes right here. So we know that that line's going to fall between 60 and 70. And I know the number that comes halfway between 60 and 70 is 65. So my answer is going to be 65 centimeters. Make sure you label. All right, so you have 2 pages of graphing information. If you need help, let me know. But otherwise, you should be able to do it pretty easily. There's going to be some addition, some subtraction. What are the differences between a couple of those plant foods? How are they the same? All right, and then use the picture. If you turn to the other side, I just want to point out real quick that there is a key on this one. So you have your title. All right, Lindy Elementary Food Drive. Pounds of food donated per grade level. So for kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade. All right, and then how much food did they get donated? Look at this key over here. Each box stands for 60 pounds of donated food. All right, that means each one of these, and I'm going to do fifth grade because it's right there, has a value of 60. All right, if fifth grade has 2 boxes, they have 60 2 times, which gives you a total of 120. So they donated 120 pounds of food. All right, I'm one of those people who likes to go through and figure out how much each one already has before I start answering the questions. All right, think about your multiples of 6. If you want to go ahead and put your multiples of 6 at the top of the page. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60. All right. And then since you're doing it as 60 pounds, if you want to, you can go ahead and make those 10 times bigger. So 60, 120, 180, 240, 300, 360, 420, 480, 540, 600. All right, and then that will help you get through those way easier, or you can use a calculator. I'm good either way. All right, and then you're going to answer the questions below. What grade level donated the most pounds of food? Well, who has the most blocks in their column? And if you're looking, it looks like 4th grade. So 4th grade donated the most. Which grade level donated 120 pounds? We actually did that one together, and that's 5th grade. So you're just going to go through and answer those questions. And if you have any questions, let me know. And then you also have another writing piece today, and it says best or worst day ever. In between regular days, we all have best days and worst days. Some days, everything goes right, and other days, nothing goes right. Write a story about either your best day or your worst day ever. Make sure you have a beginning, middle, and end in your writing. Explain when and where this day happened. Explain who might have been with you during this day. Explain how you felt during this best or worst day, and use details and descriptions within your story. So make sure it's a detailed story, something that somebody's really going to want to read. I'm picking up your packets from the first time on Wednesday, so I'm going to start reading all that, so I can't wait to see your work. So make sure that you make your stories good because I am reading them. All right. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know, and I will talk to you all later. Love you. Bye.